So Chucky Season 2, Episode 5, a doll on doll trailer. Let's talk about it. Now it opens with a clip of Chucky, well, buff Chucky, showing his hand outside of a box and saying, "I have risen." You know, Chucky, classic Chucky Jesus jokes. You can see something on his hand, likely blood, but I thought it was an arrow or something at first. You can make of it what you will. Although he is revealing himself to Sister Ruth, who kind of had a weird fascination with him at first. So I do wonder if Chucky will kill her right away or something else. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Next is Tiffany's house slash mansion on fire, which I wonder what'll happen there. Maybe this is Tiffany and Glen. Like, you know, maybe this is when Tiffany and Glen go on the run and have to burn down the house, which is kind of evidence. Who knows? Obviously, Nika is free, so she could expose Tiffany, or as trailers have called her, Jennifer Tilly, when referring to her on the run and being searched for by police. Just Chucky running like in Incarnate Lord or the Catholic boarding school, which will make sense later. Chucky rolling out an arsenal of weapons, and as you likely would have guessed, yes, this is the night shit will really hit the fan or go down in Incarnate Lord. Just a theory. Although we do see someone looking through a peephole. I don't know exactly who it is or who this is. Now we see Chucky throwing knives through a door, and I just feel with all of this commotion, shit will really go down and cause stuff to happen. I don't know, I just feel this will be an action-packed episode with actual stuff happening. Also, Chucky jumping or flying through the air. I didn't know at first why he was flying through the air, but I came up with some theories. Maybe attacking Sister Ruth, Jake, Devon, Lexy, Nadine, Father Bryce, someone else, or maybe the buff Chucky tossing the now nice Chucky around, and maybe her turning him evil or into the natural killer doll again, you know, Chucky. Tiffany talking to Glen about how she just likes to murder people, which we'll talk about in a bit. Glen looking surprised or scared. There's many things this could be because of. Maybe them finding out Tiffany is now a wanted person, or Jennifer Tilly is now a wanted person. Finding out their true past, like Glen and Glenda's true past, since in episode 4 we did get some breadcrumbs that they don't 100% remember everything. The house or mansion burning down, Tiffany freaking or flipping out. Many theories. Let me know what your thoughts are. Lastly, Tiffany slapping someone, or like throwing something, or slapping something or someone, or throwing something. Not sure at who or what first. Maybe slapping Glen or throwing the, like, you know, the match to burn down the house. Who knows? Maybe Tiffany's like, you know, maybe just throwing a lighter or something like that. Who knows? She doesn't look happy, so it's anyone's guess. Now the sneak peek clip. It's pretty much Glen waking up from a nightmare in their hiding spot. Glen and Nika hidden in episode 4, Death on Denial. Getting a text from likely Glenda or Nika, likely Glenda, talking about nightmares and how they're both having them, like, you know, both having nightmares or both having them. And Glen asks if they killed a security guard, and the person saying they had to. Again, likely Glenda or Nika. Sorry if I get that wrong. Maybe someone we haven't seen, aka the security guard that was killed, like an off-screen death. Glen overhears Tiffany watching Liar again and confronts her about being a murderer, who Nika is, why she did it, and who is Tiffany Valentine. Tiffany rebuttals the murder claim with the addiction card, like she did in Seed, like, you know, Seed of Chucky, when she called the addiction or crisis support line, which is just so messed up. Tiffany continues to play victim, or play the victim card, or just play a victim on saying, like, you know, the child she knew would never betray their mother. And Glen's response is actually kind of interesting on how Tiffany keeping a dismembered person is not normal. It's mainly interesting because it's kind of like seeing how much Glen and Glenda are truly like fighting back or rebuttaling against their mother, obviously Tiffany, or as, like, you know, a lot of people think is Jennifer Tilly, but obviously it's Tiffany. It's just very cool. Glen asks who Nika is, to which Tiffany bullshits into the girlfriend speech and even like slightly mentions Chucky as their father, until Glen snaps and tells her to stop lying, which was actually pretty crazy. Tiffany snaps back, and Glen puts the final question of who Tiffany Valentine is. Tiffany says she won't say anything till they tell her where Glenda took Nika, and Glen stays silent, which is good for now. It is very cool to see Glen and Glenda turning on their mother and technically doing the right thing, although I fear and am scared for Glen, since they're still with Tiffany and seems to be on the run with her based on other trailers, sneak peeks, and clips. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how that goes. The episode's plot synopsis reads out: Devon worries that good Chucky can't be trusted. Tiffany spirals from the surprise party. The Devon worrying about the good Chucky doll, or Chucky doll, good guy doll, it makes sense since they they, like, you know, when they went back to find the doll in episode 3, it wasn't there, and someone, Trevor, ended up dead, and they didn't know another doll was there, aka the buff Chucky. So that makes sense, or so it makes sense. And Tiffany's spiral makes sense with the house burning down, seeming very on edge in the sneak peek and trailer, and it will be a very eventful and cool episode. I also wanted to add, Doll and Doll, the episode's title, kind of reminded me of Bride of Chucky, you know, the doll on doll action. I'll end it there. So that's all I want to talk about in the video. What are your thoughts? What do you think will go on, like, you know, at Incarnate Lord? Do you think the fight between Chucky and Jake, Devon, Lexy, Nadine will be contained and between just them? Or do you think it'll spread throughout the entire boarding school with, like, you know, Father Bryce, Sister Ruth, everyone, like, with everyone running down the stairs, death, and just everything, all of that, and just all of it? What do you think will happen between Sister Ruth and Buff Chucky? Will she just die, or is there something deeper to it? What do you think will happen with Tiffany and Glen in general? What are your thoughts? As per usual, all sources will be linked down below. Thanks for watching. A peace, my amigos, and peace out.